Today in the Spotlight, why play matters for children, the skills it develops, and how much playtime does a child really need. We will be talking to Adventure Face Painting, Scouts Victoria, Monty on the Go, and Nature Crew as to how they help parents achieve the goals of play.
The purpose of this video is to make people aware of the benefits provided by extracurricular activities, especially in high school. These activities can include, but are not limited to, clubs, professional organizations, and athletics. Students cannot learn all they need to know to perform well in society within the classroom. Though teachers can expand a student's knowledge, the student still needs the ability to apply that information in settings outside of the confines of the classroom. The information needs to be applied to real-world settings. This same information also needs to be shared and critically thought about. A way students can do this is through association with extracurricular activities, whether the student is on a stage, a football field, or in front of the classroom. Research has consistently proven that extracurricular activities can benefit students greatly. Steve Duncan focuses on specific benefits from extracurricular activities such as increasing leadership abilities, completion of tasks, life skills, and a higher likelihood of graduation. He writes that such involvement in extracurricular activities can help young people discover and share their talents, as well as develop character and competence. Other research states that extracurricular activities benefit student behavior, increase student grades, and school completion, and make students more likely to become successful adults. With athletics, students learn discipline in drills, practices, and routines. In clubs and other organizations, students learn lessons in leadership, teamwork, organization, analytical thinking, problem solving, time management, and the ability for students to juggle many tasks at once. In addition, it also allows students to discover their talents and interests. After conducting a survey which included questions ranging from the benefits of extracurricular activities to how many extracurricular activities were offered at their interviewees' high school, I realized there isn't uniformity within public schools on what is offered. Coming from a smaller high school myself and making friends in college who attended much larger high schools, I realized their schools offered a wider array of clubs, organizations, and sports. This is the problem. The following graph displays survey results that the most common answer to the question was 0 to 10, which comprised 66.67% of the answers. 16.67% said 10 to 20, while another 16.67% said 20 or more. Though some schools offer more extracurricular activities than others, the most common within American public high schools includes yearbook, baseball, National Honor Society, science club, football, theater club, art club, soccer, student government and debate, school newspaper, and chess club. 100% of respondents claimed that extracurricular activities are beneficial and that they positively impact students. The most common answers to this question centered on the social benefits, in which students can gain more friends and meet people they wouldn't have met if they were not involved in a particular activity. Many people also stated that these activities give school pride and keep students motivated throughout high school. Here are a few of the unique answers to this question, which coincides with much of the research done centering on the benefits. The next graph displays answers to the question, how much time do you think each student should devote weekly to extracurricular activities? The answers were surprising, as 25% said 6 hours or more, 66.67% said 3 to 6 hours, and only 8.33% says 0 to 3 hours. The information presented opens another question. How important are after-school activities? Since some said that they think students should spend 6 or more hours on extracurricular activities weekly, they will inevitably spend multiple afternoons a week focusing on these activities. Instead of napping or playing video games or spending a lot of time on social media after getting home from school, students should try to take the time to engage in productive activities, in addition to finishing homework. Though there are some restrictions varying from family to family, such as access to vehicles, etc., research also shows that after school is an opportune time for students to be involved. One major reason is that the most dangerous time for bad behavior is after school before parents get home, especially between the hours of 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. This is a crucial time for students to be involved because they are under supervision, guidance, and they are engaged in enriched learning experiences. This announcement is directed towards teachers, parents, and students. Teachers, take up a leadership position within your school. Create clubs coinciding with their interests that may attract students. Help students find their niche and help them to cultivate their interests. Parents, encourage your children to get involved in any way, whether it's in school or after school activities or volunteering in the community. And students, remember to get out of your comfort zone and get involved as much as you can without hindering your academic performance. Research from 2010 stated that only 1 in 4 students participated in academic clubs. This number is too low. Remember that colleges will be looking at your application for experience in extracurricular activities. Don't spend all your free time on video games or on the internet unless you're using that time to research for class. Most importantly of all, enjoy yourselves and good luck.
created using Powtoon.
Welcome to In the Spotlight. I am your host, Rose. Play matters. It matters to the children as it teaches them about themselves and the world around them. Giving a child the opportunity, time, and space to play allows them to explore different interests and passions. Through play, children can develop important life skills that can help them prepare for experiences later in life. Play is really any spontaneous, organized activity that provides enjoyment, entertainment, amusement, or diversion. It includes having fun, being creative and spontaneous, and creating original ideas and acting on them to boost engagement and concentration. Toddlers should spend roughly an hour a day in free, unstructured play and at least 30 minutes of engaged in active adult-led play. Older children need even more time to play each day. Think of it as a prescription from a doctor as something they need every day. So today we have in the studio with us Mickey from Adventure Face Painting, Daniela from Scouts Victoria, Ifra from Nature Crew, and Alex from Monty on the Go. Welcome, girls.
Thank you. Thanks.
So let's go into a bit of introduction. So let's start from you, Mickey. Do you want to introduce yourself and what is it that you do?
Sure. So my name is Mickey. I'm from Adventure Face Painting. We run entertainment for children. So if whenever people need face painters, characters, we engage with the children. We create games with the children. We dance with them. We do everything that we can to make sure that those children have an amazing experience.
Fantastic. All right, moving on to Ifra. What do you do?
Hi, so Nature Crew is, as the name suggests, it's all about nature. We run bush play groups, forest school sessions, nature parties, so everything nature based. So we encourage children to play with nature, all the natural things. We have themes of the weeks.
Right.
That's around the season. So we celebrate the changing of the season, just like right now spring came and we were like celebrating spring. We encourage them to climb trees, go, get out of their comfort zone, experience the changing weather, get uncomfortable and enjoy it, embrace it.
Fantastic. That's very good. All right. Daniela, tell us about Scouts Victoria.
So I'm a volunteer leader with Scouts Victoria. We have 18,000 young people aged from 5 to 26, supported by a team of adults, so youth-led, adult-supported, and we encourage kids to get out there and try new things. So through Scouting, there's a whole range of activities that you can participate in.
So do you want to give any examples of the activities?
Yeah, so we go through adventure activities, so kayaking and caving and bushwalking and all those things, all the way through to performing arts, all sorts of, it's youth led, so whatever the young people in their group, so we have about 400 groups across the state, whatever they want to do, we'll make it happen.
Wow, well done. Alex.
Yeah, so I'm just started a little business called Monty on the Go, and it's about activity packs based on Montessori philosophy. And I guess why I got into this was, as a parent myself, I understand how difficult it can be as a parent to entertain our little munchkins without the use of technology or screens. So I wanted to steer away from just handing a device to my child to just be entertained while we were travelling or at dinner with my friends or having a cup of coffee or in a doctor's appointment. So I've developed these activity packs just to sort of ease the stress on a parent. They can just quickly pick them up, race off to wherever they need to go, but I guess have the confidence that their child is learning and not just being, I guess, entertained or amused without the benefits of play. Yeah.
Wow, that is very good, very good. So yeah, let's move into our now Q&A with each one of you. I'll try to keep them as easy as possible, so not to stress you all out. So now, Mickey, coming to you in your area. So how does playing boost creativity, problem solving, and leadership skills when you go to parties with a lot of kids? How do you manage that?
Yeah, I think it's really important for children to experience and to get out of their shell. Some children, it takes longer for them to warm up, and some children, they immediately they're, wow, you're here and we want to show you everything. So I think naturally, this is how children learn.
Right.
This is how children learn to problem solve in various situation and to become flexible in, you might present them with, for example, a game, and, they might want to, or they want to win that particular game, for example, and that in that situation where there are a lot of children, they need to be able to be flexible in that situation. So, they may not be the winners, or they may not, to be able to regulate their emotions in that situation. So I think it's good to see and to be able to adjust according to what's happening with the kids.
Yeah.
So it is important for them, because they themselves creative, like, oh, I have an idea, let's do this, and and they come up with so many different things within that game that I wouldn't have thought about.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's a good way to teach, in games you win and you lose, and it's okay.
That's it, exactly. But it's a huge part, especially the younger kids, like ages probably 3 to 8, I would say. That's where it comes out more prominently. So it's really, it is interesting to see how children behave in those sort of situations.
Right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Ifra, on this? And how does Nature Crew boost creativity, leadership among the young kids? And what age group kids do you work with?
We work from 2 years old to 15 years old.
Right.
So it's the different age groups, and it is creative, because now here there's nothing entertaining you. You have to find the toys. The sticks are your toys. So the stick can be a wand, a stick can be a walking stick, it can be a stick man, it can be anything you want.
Right.
So yeah, you have to be creative in order to play. So you don't have any other thing, that no toy that defines how to play, that tells you how to play. It's your own imagination, your own creativity. So of course you have to be like making a butterfly out of leaves and the sticks, So that helps you being creative. They think of ideas, they like sharing their ideas, and then sometimes they get stuck. So for example, we are going bushwalking, there's a route, there's a path that is very difficult for them, and then they all think as a group, what should we do? How do we cross the creek? How do we reach the other side? And then they negotiate with each other. They find creative ways to solve that problem, and that's how they problem solve. And then again, one of them will come up with the idea that, okay, I think we should do that, and we should go this way, we should step on this rock, that, and he'll be the leader. And we'll be like, okay, you be the leader, you tell us where to go, and they get so much self-confidence, the creativity and self, and they're so proud of themselves. In the beginning, they are so, self-conscious. They're like, would be able to do that, but then with practice, with making it more common occurrence for them, like it just boosts their leadership skills, social skills, creativity, everything. It's basically learning. We call it play, but it's basically learning.
What are your thoughts, Daniela?
So in scouting, we operate in small teams.
Right.
So one of our scout methods is that we learn in small, what we call patrols. So your average patrol would be maybe 6 to 8 kids, and you'd have a patrol leader who was an older member of the troop, and so they run the program. So the PL's patrol leaders decide what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. So the kids all share those leadership responsibilities. So it's about
very good.
everyone gets the opportunity, which is a bit different to sport when you have a captain. And so if you're not the captain, it's a bit harder to demonstrate or to participate in those skills. But we would have 12 kids every night as a named leader, but that doesn't include the kids who might actually run that game or be the ones who are collecting the money for the night or whatever that might be. Every 3 years we have what's called a jamboree. So kids from across the country and from other countries come and camp for 2 weeks. So we've just had one in Adelaide, and the kids have to do all their cooking and all their, like, it's 2 weeks intense,
Right.
and there'll be 10,000 people there. So just the resilience that they learn in that, the problem solving and all the leadership, and all of that, they don't realise they're learning.
Yep.
They think it's
Yeah,
play.
they
They get to do all the activities and they get muddy
Yeah.
and all of that sort of stuff. We know they're learning. Yeah.
Yeah, how good is So Alex, with your Monty on the Go, how it is a very creative idea what you're doing. So do you want to explain more how it boosts all those skills?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm working with a younger age group, I guess sort of 18 months to about 5 years, or sort of age for my activity pack sort of before they get off to school, and all of these other kind of fun activities kick off. Like, I sort of really wanted to start young because those early years are so formative with the brain and all those neurons connecting in the brain. So I wanted to get in early with our kids before they sort of got addicted to their technology. So I guess each of my activity bags targets a different skill set in a child, and I guess that the parent gets to choose sort of what skill set they're looking for or what bag is appropriate for their child based on their age. Some are like a set of blocks, a set of colourful blocks that will allow a child that open-ended play and that creativity to build whatever they want, to engage an adult, a parent or a sibling in sort of play together. Others are sort of more problem solving, a set of tangrams where they're required to move the blocks in a certain way to create a pattern.
Yeah, so that's what I'm observing, hearing all 4 of you, that activities are led by parents or guided by parents, but mostly you're getting kids to do it on your own, build that responsibility part of things. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, very good. So what are your observations, starting back to you, not that to put you in spotlight every time with a new question, but you are sitting next to me. So do you want to tell us, what do you observe so kids who are into all those things, like, Alex has got Monty on the Go, packs and all, scouting, nature crew and other activities, sports, versus the kids who spend most of the time at home, either in front of the TV or just the technology, iPads or whatever we have this. So what do you observe when you go among the children?
I think generally speaking, every child is different.
Yeah.
A child that children have an incredible imagination, and I can speak on behalf of my son, who doesn't need TV, and we're very old-fashioned that way, doesn't need TV to be able to be creative. His imagination goes so wild that he doesn't need even a toy. So I think that even if the children are at home, I think creativity is just a natural, innate thing that children have, and they do create, as the others mentioned, that they do create things from just a stick or what have you. So I think it's just parents modelling that to the children.
So what are your thoughts, Ifra, about this?
So, as far as engagement is concerned, of course, the kids who have been since birth, they have been into creativity and exploring the world around them and things like that. They take initiative. Versus the kids who have been entertained by technology, social media, this, that. They just sit there and wait for someone to come and entertain them, someone to come and do something or tell them what to do. So that's the basic difference, like observing the nature around you, the things around you, and making toys out of them, engaging and observing and asking questions. It's
Right.
done for them.
Yeah, I guess they are looking to be entertained all the time. What is it that I'm going to do next?
Yeah.
I can't entertain myself.
Tell me what to
yeah,
do.
tell me what to do. Do you see that in scouting as well, Daniela?
I see. I'm a school teacher by trade.
Oh, wow.
And so I see that in the kids that I have at school. But I see that the kids that we have at Scouts are much more able to get out and give things a go. They're much more resilient, which I think is really a huge part about all of this. But they're also much easier to engage with other people. They've learnt those skills of working with others and not only their peers, but also adults, which having lots of good adult role models in a kid's life.
Alex, you work with very little ones
Yeah, little
compared
ones.
to the other three people we have here. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I think you can clearly see a really big difference between an engaged young child and a non-engaged young child. I think, when I'm around young kids, I like to see that they can sit and concentrate and be self-motivated in their own play. And we know that young children need unstructured, open-ended
Yep.
time to play
Yep.
every single day. And it's our responsibility to provide that as parents and people caring for kids, to provide those opportunities for young people to have that play time together. So some children who haven't had that practice and exposure find that time boring.
All right, so we'll move into our last question, which you all will be very excited about. Is how can parents, what can parents do to, practically engage the kids and at the same time have some, as a parent, it's so hard to have some me time. How can parents do that?
Yep. So in particular in my business, when parents hire me to come out to a party, the biggest thing that I see that works amazingly is that engagement with the parents and the parents joining in on the fun. Kids are getting their face painted, the parents are getting their face painted,
okay, that's
and
good.
that they're joining in on the activity and they're not just disengaged with the children. So the children see that, oh hey, this is a really exciting thing that's happening. So I think it's what you make it.
What are your thoughts, Ifra, about this?
I
What can
totally
parents do?
Agree. It's the parents. It's the reaction that we give as adults, which they copy. They take it off that. So if you would say, it's an insect, I'm scared. so would they be. They would have the same reaction. You will pass that on consciously or subconsciously. So I highly encourage parents to get involved and just give it a try, just for the sake of the children, even if you haven't in all your life. Just give it a try. At least don't show them that you are scared. Otherwise, you'll transfer the phobia to them.
Yeah, very good, very good. Do you agree with Ifra and Mickey? What have their thoughts?
Kids need to learn by doing.
Yeah.
So get them out, let them try, and everyone's going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But that's what it's about. It's about learning from the mistake and creating something out of that mistake. Everything, nothing is unsavable. So learn by doing and let them actually do, challenge themselves and get out there.
Alex, yours again is something really, really creative. I'm quite intrigued by it. So what are your
us
thoughts?
out.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
yours is perfect. Just put them in the car when you're going a long drive and
Yeah.
they'll be busy.
Yeah. So put them in your handbag. A couple can live in the car. They're perfect for an aeroplane flight. Speaking from experience, so I guess that's what I guess as a parent, I this was a problem of my own, and I know firsthand how difficult it can be to have that me time, that cup of coffee with your mate, so that you feel sane and you're ready to take on the day and all those kind of things. And it's just striking that balance, like trying to meet your expectations as a parent, wanting the best for your child. And it is so easy in today's day and age just to hand them a phone and it quietens them down, but they're so quick to become addicted and really hard to break that and get out of that. So I think for me it's that easy solution out. It's solves a really practical problem for a lot of parents out there. So
Thank you so much, girls. Now, to be honest, I actually leave my 6-year-old doing nothing when she says, you know, Mama, I'm bored. I'm like, fine. And whose responsibility it is to entertain you yourself? So, you know, she goes out to play or does her things, which is how I think that boosts her creativity and problem-solving skills a lot. Now, you know, as it's famously said, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So make sure you take some time out and let the kids play. Thank you for watching us today. Good night.